Good morning. If we could, try to take a seat so we can get this wonderful day started. Welcome to Forsyth County Schools and this year's new Educator orientation. I'm Wes McCall, chairperson of the Forsyth County Board of Education. I do believe that today is your first official work day on a Friday. I don't know who schedules the first day of work on a Friday, but I think it's pretty cool. I think it's cool because we don't know if you're excited about your new job or that the weekend is almost here. Either way, you're excited and we are excited. To share this excitement throughout our event today, please feel free to share photos and comments on social media using the hashtag FCSNEO. That again is hashtag FCSNEO. Now yesterday they asked me if I would start the trend, so I'm going to try to figure this out. This might be the start of my influence career. Let me see here. So I'm going to try to take this picture. They also did say that the higher I go, the skinnier I look. So we're going to try this. 1, 2, 3. Take a couple of them. I need longer arms. At this time, I'd like to take an opportunity to introduce the members of our Board of Education. When I call your name, please stand, turn, wave to the crowd. Vice Chairperson Kristen Morrissey. Miss Morrissey has 2 daughters who all graduated from Forsyth County Schools. Miss Morrissey is the member of our board that tries to keep us aligned, on task, and to follow all the rules. Miss Morrissey is also always working on some type of community project. But in her free time, she drives this great big RV and loves to go camping with her family and her dog. Spot? Is this Spot? Miss Dara Light. Miss Dara Light has 3 children. 3 children who have all graduated from Forsyth County Schools. Miss Light actually just returned from Jamaica, where she celebrated her daughter's most beautiful wedding. Miss Light is the best storyteller of our group. She has some of the most crazy and funniest stories. Miss Light also knows everyone in Forsyth County. So, if you need anything, she knows a guy. Mr. Tom Cleveland. Mr. Tom Cleveland is our most veteran school board member. Notice I said veteran. Not old. I think Mr. Cleveland was actually elected before there were elections. Mr. Cleveland is our member that is always calm and thinks outside the box. We keep him around because of his barbecue. Mr. Cleveland loves to cook barbecue at competitions. A matter of fact, Mr. Cleveland is part of the sheriff's culinary team, which, if you think about that, is kind of actually pretty smart because we all know who won't be getting a ticket anytime soon. Miss Lindsay Adams. Miss Lindsay Adams is our newest member of the board. I do believe Miss Adams' second year. Is that correct? Is this your second year? Miss Adams has 4 children in the Forsyth County school system. Miss Adams is our board member that is always happy and smiling. She does pick on me a lot, but I guess that's okay because everybody else thinks it's funny. The best, of course, is me. I cover District 1, and I have a senior at West Forsyth High School. Where's our West Forsyth High School teachers? All right, that's what I'm talking about. Woo! I need your help, though. Can you please get him to graduate? That's all I ask, is he needs to graduate. We're actually very lucky to have a good kid. He has really worked hard to set up his senior year to take advantage of dual enrollment to knock out his first year of college. But then all of a sudden, he has now decided that he is going to take weightlifting, peer facilitator, and office aide. So please, like I said, help. Right now, his top pick for college is Flagler in St. Augustine. So folks, that's our Forsyth County Board of Education. If we can give them a round of applause. What does the school board do? We are elected by the residents of the county and serve a 4-year term. Our primary role is the legislation of school policies that are executed under the direction of the school superintendent, who you will meet later on this morning. We have 2 meetings a month, and everyone's invited because they're a lot of fun. But our favorite thing to do is to visit schools. We look forward to seeing many of you this school year. At this time, please stand for the presentation of the colors from the North Forsyth High School Marine Corps Junior ROTC, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance from Vice Chair Ms. Morrissey.
Please remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please remain standing while the guard exits. Thank you to the North Forsyth High Marine Corps Junior ROTC. You may be seated. With us this morning are representatives from our professional organizations, PAGE, GAE, and Educators First. Thank you for attending today. We'd also like to recognize and thank our signature sponsors who provided breakfast this morning and the t-shirts for this year. Would you please come up on stage when I introduce you? First, Children's Healthcare, Atlanta Forsyth. Children's is located at the Collection at Forsyth at exit 13 off of Georgia 400. They are partners with all Forsyth schools and are a great supporter of our district. Evan Pravetta with State Farm Insurance. Evan's State Farm office is located at Old Atlanta Road near South Forsyth Middle School. Evan, who also serves as the chairperson of our Education Foundation, and his team are proud to serve the insurance needs of Forsyth County educators. Georgia United Credit Union. The credit union is a not-for-profit financial cooperative that has proudly served Forsyth County staff and our schools for over 20 years. Located off Highway 20 near downtown Cumming, they offer a variety of competitive and free financial services for our employees. John Heath and Your Results Keller Williams Realty. John and his team have worked with Forsyth County for over a decade. They donate $1,000 to any Forsyth County school approved program for each closing referred to them by a teacher, parent, or staff member. Sherlock Technology. Sherlock works with district departments and schools to help with all areas of technology, from supplying devices to networking. And lastly, LineWise. LineWise provides extra internet safety for teachers to manage and monitor device usage in our classroom. Unfortunately, they were not able to be here today. Sponsors?
Good morning. It is so exciting to see a room full of brand new family members to the Forsyth County school system. I am a proud mom of 2 girls that attend West Forsyth High School, and they have been in the school system since kindergarten. I'm also a former educator here in Forsyth County, so I can tell you, you have joined the absolute best school system, I would argue, in the state, if not the nation. So welcome aboard. As a representative of Children's Healthcare of Atlanta, I have to tell you a little bit about who we are. We have 3 main hospitals and 8 neighborhood locations. Your closest urgent care is at the collection. We are there when your pediatrician is not, so many of your students probably see us after they see the school nurse, or maybe we've even seen some of your family members. And we are happy to serve you when you need us. One of the things that I wanted to tell you this morning that we're super excited about is we are opening a brand new hospital in 2025. It will be at North Druid Hills. It is currently the largest pediatric hospital in the nation. We are very proud, and it will be named the Arthur M. Blank Hospital. He gave us a very generous gift, and we hope that you will all come tour it one day. Certainly, we don't want you to have to be there, but we would love for you to be part of the legacy that will serve the students and kids in this great state of Georgia. So thank you so much for all that you do. If there's anything we can do to support you this school year, please don't hesitate to let us know. Have a great year.
Good morning, everyone. Congratulations to you all. This is an exciting day. It is every year, and you guys are in for a treat this morning, I'm sure. I'm Evan Profeta, and I've been proud to serve Forsyth County as a State Farm agent for the last 17 years, and as a partner in education for all of those years, and as Kristen mentioned earlier, the last 3 as the chairman of the Education Foundation for the county. What I'm most proud of is that I'm an alumnus like many of you. I graduated many years ago from South Forsyth High School, and my best achievement to date are my 2 boys who also attend county schools, one at South and another one who's going to begin at Lakeside in just a few weeks. For a school system like ours to reach beyond 100 years old and be in continuous growth mode, achieving higher and higher levels of greatness is remarkable. Search history quickly and you'll find the best names in our economy have achieved these kinds of milestones and still find themselves in a growth mindset. One of those being our own company, State Farm, where we have just celebrated our first 100th birthday. Forsyth County Schools and State Farm share a wonderful burden of being the best, and that responsibility is upon all of us to do our best every day to make them even better, which is no small task. For us, this means serving more people in different ways, being innovative in the way that we offer our products, and meeting and interacting with our customers how and where they need us to. My team and I know that insurance occupies a big part of everyone's budget. It's often confusing, and a lot of times when people ask questions of their insurer, they don't get clear explanations. I invite all of you to use me and my team as a resource for all things insurance related. Please stop by and meet us today, or simply put talktoevan.com in your phone and send us a note at a better time when we can talk together. Or just come by and grab a yardstick. We have one for everyone, so don't be shy. Feel free to pick one up and head on your way. It is a classroom staple. Every classroom needs a yardstick. But really, we exist to serve all of you and your families, and to the many teachers, administrators, and leaders that have already put your trust in us. Thank you, and again, congratulations to you all.
Good morning. My name is Ken Shanowski. I'm with Georgia United Credit Union. And first of all, you have to understand, I'm a retired educator. So the thought of standing behind a podium freaks me out because I need to see who's on their phone and checking email and text messages and social media. So I like to move around when I talk. So we're Georgia United Credit Union, and what I do for them is when I retired from the classroom, I help teach financial education and financial literacy on behalf of the credit union. We're your credit union partner, so whatever you need we're here to help you. And if you're not familiar with a credit union, I hope you do become familiar with a credit union. We do everything that a traditional bank does, but we're not for profit, so all our accounts are free, no minimum balance, no monthly service charges. We're the largest educators credit union in the state of Georgia, and we've been named for the second consecutive year by Forbes the best in-state credit union. So I'm very proud of that fact. If you haven't already stopped by my table, please do. We have this great workplace banking program, especially for all of you. Within your first year of membership, you can earn up to $1,000 just based on what accounts you have with Georgia United. So it's free money, because when you fill up your car these days, you need free money. We also offer free micro lessons in financial education, 3 to 7 minutes that you can download to your phone, your iPad, listen in the car about everything from budgeting to how to buy a car, how to buy a house. In this market, it's absolutely nuts. So I'm also the father of an educator, and so I know what you go through every day. The blessing in my life was the fact that I didn't have text chains between all my co-op teachers to go through every night and talking about the next day. Once we left the building, we were done. I'm often asked 3 tips how to be a successful teacher. Number 1, you have to change your sleeping habits. Your summer naps are over. Okay? Number 2, have a robust snack drawer. Some of you may be having lunch at 10:30 in the morning. Some of you may be having lunch at 1 in the afternoon. Always have a snack drawer. The third thing is, and bless you, because when I was teaching, the self-care emphasis on drinking water was not evident. I was a literal camel in the classroom, because the last thing I wanted to do was have to go to the restroom. But make sure you start to train your body as to when your breaks are going to be. If you do those 3 things, you're going to have a great start to your year. You've made a great choice. Forsyth County Schools is an amazing school system. Have a great year. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is John Heath. I'm a realtor here in the county. I've been blessed to live in this county since 1994. Had 2 daughters raised in the school system who are both now, although there was doubts at times, successful adults on their own. Very blessed to have y'all here and welcome you to this wonderful county. I truly do believe this is one of the best school systems around. Dr. Salam and I were discussing this morning how even though property taxes went up for everybody everywhere this year because of the house prices, it's amazing what our school system does to keep us one of the lowest millage rates in the metro Atlanta area, yet still have facilities like this and have wonderful educators like you guys that we can bring in every year. So welcome, and we wish you the best of luck this year. I have a program. I've been honored to be a partner in education since I got into real estate in 2001. During that time, we've been blessed to sell over 1,000 homes. So I came up with a program very early on because every school has programs and every school comes to you as a small business owner and says, hey, will you donate to this? Will you donate to this? So we said, all right, let's truly partner. We came up with a program where if you refer somebody to us that buys real estate, or whether you yourself buy real estate with us, we'll donate $1,000 to the classroom. You can use that in your classroom. The school system lets you have that money to do with it as you please within your classroom. We've had people do things like living terrarium. I'm probably using the wrong word there, but you know what I mean, in their classrooms. Obviously, to athletic programs, band programs. If you yourself do it, we'll donate $500 to the school and give $500 back to you at closing. So it's a good program. We've given over $140,000 so far through that program to the school system. My lending partner's here with me today, Sonia Bullard from Acopia Home Loans, and they have a Home for Hero program where basically no money down you can get into a home. So feel free to stop by our table, learn more about that program. Those of you that didn't want to scan the little thing we gave out this morning or haven't scanned it yet, we're fixing to give away $100 to one of your compatriots here, and we're going to do the other one around 11:30 today. So if you haven't used that little QE code, go ahead and do it before 11:30 today. Looking for Sonia Elzy with Lakeside Middle School. Sonia, where are you? All right, Sonia Bullard's going to bring you back your bag. And again, welcome you guys, and we really appreciate everything you do, and have a great school year.
Hey, good morning, everyone. I'm Rodney McGee with Sherlock Technology. We're a technology solutions integrator focused on K-12 school districts like you. We do solutions anywhere from classroom technology all the way through the data center, supporting applications that support teaching and learning. So it's great to be here. It's our first time here, so it's a little daunting to see all these new teachers here. But glad to be here. Congratulate all the new educators in here, and hope for the best this new school year. So thank you.
Thank you to our sponsors for their generous support over the years. And how about another round of applause for all of them here? Some of those sponsors have been with us for many, many years, and they genuinely do support our teachers and our system. And next, I'd like to bring Chairperson McCall back up to present the history of Forsyth County in a short video.
Thank you, Ms. Morrissey, and again, thank you to our sponsors. I'm honored to share some information with you about how we got here today, both as a county and as a school district. This area was first inhabited by the Mississippi Indian civilization, and then followed for centuries by the Creek and Cherokee nations. Forsyth County was created in 1832 from Cherokee County and was conveniently situated between Hall County and Dahlonega Gold Belts. Sawney Mountain, which is taller than Kennesaw Mountain and taller than Stone Mountain, is located right here in Forsyth County. We have a short video for you to learn more about Sawney Mountain.
One of the most well-known physical features of Forsyth County is Sawney Mountain. Named for a Cherokee chief, the mountain stands 1,946 feet above sea level. You may have even used the popular hiking trails up the mountain to the summit at the Sawney Mountain Preserve. A leader of the local district of the Cherokee Nation, Sawney helped many settlers build their homes in the area. The settlers named the mountain after Sawney as a show of appreciation for his help. Records indicate he left the area in 1838 on the Trail of Tears. No paintings or drawings have ever been found of Chief Sawney, so we can only guess at what he looked like. When people think of finding gold in North Georgia, they usually think of Dahlonega. The gold rush in North Georgia started in 1829, but the two mine shafts and numerous pits that can be found on Sawney Mountain were dug a little over 60 years after that. Two men from Atlanta, Hampton and Herman, gained control of land lots on and around the mountain in the late 1800s. The operation required a lot of labor and reaped little profit. Due to questions about title to the property, meaning who really owned it, the operation was abandoned.
After the Depression and World War II, there was a new crop that was introduced to Forsyth County. Anybody know what that crop might be? Chickens, that's right. Chicken farming. It greatly impacted the standard of living for our rural area, which included a large number of children becoming first-generation college graduates. You may have noticed the large eggs around town featuring local artists that represent the importance of the impact that the poultry industry has had on our community. Then, in the 1950s, Buford Dam was built on the Chattahoochee River, and Lake Lanier was formed to become a major water source for the metropolitan Atlanta area. Now, more than 5.7 million people annually visit Lake Lanier, making it one of the most visited and used Army Corps of Engineers lakes in the country. In 1970s, Georgia 400 was opened to provide a quicker transportation route to and from Atlanta. Right now, we have 2 new exits that are currently being constructed to help the transportation improvements of Forsyth County residents. Our population story is quite interesting. From 1970 to 2000, our population increased 481%, while from 2000 to 2010 increased 78%. From 2010 to 2021, it continued to increase by 46%. We are constantly ranked as one of the fastest growing counties in the United States, and we expect this trend to continue. Our school district's history started 149 years ago when Old Field Schools, anybody know what an Old Field School is? Old Field School was built out of a log building with dirt floors and was put in a cleared out field. When these schools were consolidated into one public district. In 1874, Forsyth County Schools had 1,456 students. To put this into perspective, the entire district then would now fit into our largest middle school, which is Riverwatch Middle School. In 1873, the teachers were paid $29.97 a month. I'm glad to share that we pay a little bit more today. This upcoming budget, the Forsyth County Schools has matched the governor's raise for all teachers to a total of $4,000 for all of our teachers. In the early 1900s, 16 of our schools were African American black schools, and New Hope was one of the largest schools at that time. Tomorrow is our grand opening of our 23rd elementary school, and its name is New Hope Elementary, honoring this school. In Forsyth County, we honor our past by naming many of our new schools after former schools, communities, local leaders, and local school leaders. Since the 1900s, the consolidation of community schools occurred as the county has changed. Can anyone guess the oldest elementary school in our county? What was it? Big Creek Elementary. Big Creek Elementary. Big Creek Elementary is the oldest of our elementary schools, built in 1938. Do we have new teachers for Big Creek in here? Woo! Well, I'm glad to let you know we have renovated the building since. It now has plumbing and AC. But the building, the auditorium still remains, so I hope you get a chance to go look at it. The school is actually located along one of the busiest roads, Highway 141. In fact, the Big Creek time capsule that was buried many years ago is said to be buried under the highway. What about our oldest middle school? Anybody? Otwell. Otwell was our first middle school. The original building is now part of the campus of Forsyth Central High School. We opened a new replacement building for Otwell across the street in 2001. Speaking of Forsyth Central, where's our Forsyth Central group? They're right there. Shown on this slide is the former Cumming High School, which was replaced in 1955 by Forsyth County High School. Once we started adding more high schools like West, North, East, we had to add Central, so Forsyth High School was turned into Forsyth Central High School. The original Cumming High School is now home of the School Street Playhouse and Tam's Backstage, located in the middle of town. Today, Forsyth County is home to 260,000 residents across 247 square miles. Why do so many people choose to stay in or even move to Forsyth County? Well, obviously it's you guys. The school system is number one. Additionally, our community values high quality life that focuses on live, work, and play. For work, our economy, highly educated residents, and talented workforce have allowed us to be home to more than 7,000 businesses, including 75 of them international companies. We have also been named the healthiest county in Georgia and have over 25 parks in the county that include trails, recreation centers, dog parks, campgrounds, and more. The Big Creek Greenway, Sawney Mountain Preserve, and Pools Mill Cover Bridge, which Pools Mill Elementary School is named after, are shown on this slide. Many events and activities are held annually throughout the community, including the Cumming County Fair, which is always in October and has the best deep-fried Oreos that you can find, and the July 4th Steam Engine Parade, which is my family's favorite. Mixed-use developments like Halcyon and the Cumming Center, which is slated to open this year, gives places for community and connection. All these offerings make Forsyth County one of the best areas in the country to live. So, who is Forsyth County Schools today? Well, I'm going to stop talking at this time and let the video explain the highlights. point from the State of the Schools video is to let you know that we really consider you to be part of our large family. One of the many things that makes Forsyth County Schools special is that even though with our growth, we still maintain a small town feel and form connections that go beyond the walls of our schools. Now that you know how we got here and some information about our community and our schools, I am pleased to turn over this presentation to Superintendent Dr. Jeff Bearden so that you can learn more about where we're going and who we are. I hope you have a great first Friday.
Good morning. I have one point of clarification I want to make. Evan, our good friend from State Farm, gave you guys those yardsticks. Do not use them on our children. Okay, we'll make sure that's clear. Welcome to the Forsyth County Schools family. I hope you are proud to have been selected, and you should be. There is tremendous competitions for jobs in our school district, and we are certainly proud to have you join our family. Before I begin the district overview, I want to share a little information about you, our 500-plus new educators. We have 109 of you were former Forsyth County substitute teachers or paraprofessionals that have been appointed to teachers, and 41 of you are returning to Forsyth County Schools. I have no idea why you left, but welcome back. So if you're a member of one of those groups, a former substitute parapro, or you left and came back, please stand so we can recognize you. Thank you. We have 38 educators this morning that are with us that came to us from another state outside of the state of Georgia. If you are new to our state, will you please stand to be recognized? Thank you. And we have a number of recent college graduates here today. You look younger and younger every year. The largest number of those coming from the University of North Georgia. If you are a recent college graduate, please stand so we can recognize you. We have great talent in our school system and some really, really smart people. In fact, we have a number of you that are so smart that you left a neighboring district to join us. So if you're joining us from a neighboring district, would you please stand to be recognized? You get the prize for standing up first. And lastly, this is kind of my favorite one. If you are a graduate of one of our high schools, will you please stand to be recognized? Awesome. Awesome. This school year, we're going to be launching the Outstanding New Educator Award, recognizing one first-year teacher's impact on student learning and the school community from day one, year one. We will share more information about this after school starts, so look for more details to come, and it comes with a $1,000 grant. So that's exciting. We spent the entire 21-22 school year working with our community on a new strategic plan for our district. We had lots of community feedback and engagement, both in person and virtually. Our Board of Education unanimously adopted the plan this past spring, and this document will guide our work for the next 5 years. It's a great plan, and now we will begin to work that plan. I can sum up our new strategic plan in one word: connection. We want all students, all staff, all families to feel connected to our schools and to our community. We want all students and all staff to be safe, to have a sense of purpose and belonging, to be known well, to engage, to be respected, and to be respectful. We want all students and all staff to want to come to school, and we want all parents to want to send their children to our school system. How do we ensure connection for all? We must focus on relationships first. We are a people business. We are a relationship business. It has been said, and it is true, kids will not care how much you know until they know how much you care. Kids will not care how much you know until they know how much you care. I want you to think about your own experience as a student. In fact, I want to make this interactive for a moment, so feel free to participate. I want you to all think about the very best teacher you ever had. Hopefully someone came to mind immediately. So what are some 1 or 2 word descriptors you would use to describe that teacher? Just shout them out. kind, loving, helpful, patient, encouraging, interesting, okay, interested, creative, okay. Erase that teacher for a moment. Now I want you to think about the worst teacher you ever had. And unfortunately, someone probably popped in your mind almost immediately. And without using any profanity, what are some 1 or 2 word descriptors you would use to describe that teacher? Never listen. Intimidating. Apathetic. Some of you need therapy. No, I'm kidding. We do have great counselors here, seriously. You know, it's not unusual to hear those words, you know, boring, uninterested, not engaging. What kind of teacher are you going to be? You're all going to leave a legacy. Kids will remember you 20 years from now, 30 years now. What are they going to remember? What will your legacy be? Will it be good? Will it be bad? Will it be indifferent? The choice is yours. Speaking of choices, I'm sure you would all agree the greatest educator of all time, without a doubt, was none other than Albus, Percival, Wulfric, Brian, Dumbledore. Right? Professor Dumbledore once said to a young Harry Potter, "It's our choices that show who we truly are, far more than our abilities." If you choose to be a great educator, you absolutely can be one. But you must first choose to invest in knowing your students and knowing them well. I do thank you for choosing this profession. I thank you for choosing Forsyth County Schools. Since March of 2020 and the beginning of the global pandemic, our profession has become more challenging than ever before. I would also submit to you that our profession has never been more important to safeguard the continued prosperity of our great nation. Between the violence and political rhetoric that exists in our country today, what our children often see modeled for them through the media is quite ugly. They need better. They deserve better. They need hope. At our leadership retreat in June, our theme for the retreat was Champions of Hope, because that's what we all are for the students we serve. We are their champions, all of them, more than 53,000 strong. You chose to be an educator, to work here. You must choose to be a champion of hope. And remember this, hope has no finish line. Despite some of the negativity that exists in our world today, I still have hope. In fact, I have lots of hope. Looking throughout this auditorium gives me lots of hope. Why do I say that? There are more good people than there are bad people. There is more love in our world than there is hate. We live in an amazing community, and we have an awesome school system, but we never rest on our laurels. As I often say to our team, we are getting better or we are getting worse. There is no such thing as status quo. So we choose to get better. And how will we do that? We must show our students the good. We must show them respect. We must show them love. When we do, we create what I call the conditions for success. And that's what our new strategic plan is all about. We are focused on creating a culture and climate that is conducive to teaching and learning. We all know that if our kids aren't safe, they cannot learn. If they are enduring abuse, they cannot learn. If they are hungry or without adequate shelter, they cannot learn. And unfortunately, even in our community, the most affluent community in the state of Georgia, we have kids like that in Forsyth County Schools. They need you. They need all of you. They need us to be their champion of hope. Rarely will you ever hear me talk about test scores. But one thing I've known from doing this work for so many years, when you create the conditions for success in your school, and kids want to be in your classroom, guess what? They will achieve, and they will achieve at a high level. The learner profile that was pointed out in the video is our end in mind for all of our students. As a new teacher to our system, you must align all of your work to our learner profile. It doesn't matter if you're teaching kindergarten or seniors in high school. The learner profile is the work of Forsyth County Schools. All of our system-wide decisions around teaching and learning are designed through the lens of the learner profile. It is prominently displayed throughout the district, and it must be displayed in your classroom. It must be displayed in your classroom, but don't just hang it on the wall. Align your work and discuss with your students at their level and in language that they will understand what the learner profile means for them. It is printed on the back of your program, and you'll hear some of our students talk about what the learner profile means to them later in the program. At this point in the program, we're going to have 6 of our amazing Forsyth County Schools teachers talk to you this morning. To introduce them, please join me in introducing or welcoming to the stage School Board Member Darla Light. Darla?
Good morning. As Wes said, I'm a storyteller, and so I told Jennifer Caracciolo this morning, I said, I think I'm going to go off script a little bit, and she said, well, just don't cuss. I said, okay. But since we got 500 new family members, and I've been here forever, I'm like a 7th generation Forsyth County, and I'm going to give y'all a little hint on how to fit right in with everybody right away. A lot of people still don't know this, but it is the truth. It is Forsyth, not Forsyth. So when you tell people where you work at Forsyth County Schools, not Forsyth County Schools. That'll go a long way in fitting right in Forsyth County. Now, if you will join me in welcoming our finalists for our 2022 Forsyth County Teacher of the Year. I'd like to ask Susan Bennett, Bethany McClurkin, Michael Cheek, Catherine Schwartz, and Paul Malalou to join me on stage. Do they have microphones, or want me to give them this one? Oh, they've got them. Okay, first, if you would each just introduce yourself and tell everybody a little bit about you.
I'm Susan Bennett. First of all, I want to welcome you to the Forsyth County family. I am a proud product of Forsyth County, too. I graduated, went all my years through school here, so you're in a good place if you're new here. But I'm Susan Bennett. I teach at Cumming Elementary, and I've taught there for 25 years. And I currently teach ESOL there.
I'm Bethany McClurkin, and I've been in Forsyth County for a little over 10 years now. And just bear with me, I'm used to talking to 8-year-olds, so this is a little intimidating. Y'all are a little out of my age range. But I just love this county. Since I've been here, I have just grown exponentially. I mean, there are opportunities to continue growing every step of the way, and I would just encourage you to definitely take those, because it just, it's really empowering. And so I taught at Pools Mill Elementary 2nd grade, and then this year I'll be starting at Big Creek Elementary as an instructional coach. So I'm super excited to get to help all the teachers and our new teachers as well.
This is my 14th year here in Forsyth County. I teach 8th grade math at Vickery Creek Middle School, and I also coach the 8th grade basketball team. I have 4 children of my own that are in Forsyth County schools, so we are invested into the school system. I think the most exciting thing for me is actually seeing and having the opportunity to teach with former students and players of mine. There's even a former student and player of mine here today, which is exciting and blesses my heart. I had the opportunity to teach this year with a former player and student, and so it all comes full circle. and it's definitely something you're going to enjoy and love here in Forsyth County.
Hey, I am Catherine Swartz, and I teach 8th grade language arts at South Forsyth Middle School. This will be my 5th year of teaching. Teaching is actually my 2nd career. I do have one son. He's only 3 months old, so if I kind of like blank out and stop talking, it's because I haven't slept in 3 months. But I'm super excited for him to grow up in the Forsyth County school system. It's a great place to work, so you guys are all super lucky to be sitting in this auditorium right now.
My name is Paul Malalou. I'm starting my 14th year of teaching and 5th here in Forsyth County, and I've taught middle school and high school in a variety of subjects, and I have 3 little girls that go to Cumming Elementary.
Thank you, guys. Now that you know a little bit about our Teachers of the Year, I'd like to introduce the fabulous Miss Kim Sarfati, who was our Teacher of the Year this year, and she is going to moderate the panel.
Thank you so much, Darla. Thank you to our wonderful board members and Dr. Bearden. We appreciate all you do for us. It is wonderful being here together with you all today. What a great crew. I am so excited to present the questions that you submitted in advance to this fantastic panel of educators. You're in for a treat. Let's get started first with Susan and Bethany. Susan, what is the secret that helps you daily as a teacher?
Probably the most helpful thing I've learned over the years is every afternoon before I leave, I make sure that everything is ready for the next day. I look over my plans, I make sure the copies, if I have a read aloud, manipulatives, everything is ready right there in a basket on my desk, ready to go. So when I leave that afternoon, I can leave my mind there. That's very important, especially in this day and time for our mentality. Do it while you're there. Check it off, and then you can walk away from it. And then when you come back the next morning, you are ready to roll, and everything is set for the day. And you don't have to worry about anything. Also, what if you get sick? Then if a sub has to come in, everything's ready to roll for them, and you don't have to lean so much on your teammates scrambling around trying to find stuff for you, and they will thank you. But that would be my advice would be just be prepared, and then you can leave it and walk away, and then it helps you, with all your transitioning and just feeling good about your whole day.
I would say one thing that really has helped me is to be proactive in making connections with my colleagues. You're with students all day long, and it seems kind of crazy to think that there's a little bit of isolation that can happen because you're with people, answering questions, interacting all day, but there's something really special about having that connection with your fellow teachers, that you're kind of going through the same experiences and you can bounce ideas off of. And I know sometimes in an effort to be efficient, we might, go in our room and grade our papers during our lunchtime, but I would just really encourage you to take those times after school to hang out in the hallway and take that lunchtime to visit with your colleagues and make that connection, because that's something that's really proven to be a big support in my life. And also, this county has amazing supports in place, and I would encourage you to ask for help. And if you're feeling overwhelmed, don't feel alone. Just see if there's people there in place that can help you. I've been teaching for over 27 years, and just recently I went through a coaching cycle with a coach at our school, and it was so great to have somebody there to talk about ideas with. I was struggling with helping a student, and so reach out and don't be shy about doing that. You want to do things, you want to take risks, you want to try new things, and you have the support there to enable you to do that.
Great words of wisdom. Thank you, gals. Susan, this is next for you. What is the hardest lesson you have learned as a teacher?
I guess the hardest thing would be that coming into teaching, you're so excited and you have all these creative ideas and you can't wait to do all these wonderful things. But you can't do it alone. You've heard that saying, it takes a village. That's very true. You're going to need, like Bethany said, you're going to need your teammates. You're going to have to collaborate. And you should collaborate. You're not in this to be alone. So collaborate with your team, share ideas, use your strengths, but also pull from your teammates' strengths. Use those coaches. That's what they're there for. And when you have support come in, your ESOL, EIP, title, your SPED, when they come into your room, please know that they are not judging you. I know when I first started teaching, I used to get so nervous because I was like, oh gosh, they're going to think, why did she do that? Or she's crazy for doing that. But they're not there to judge you. They're there on the same team as you, and they want to collaborate. Talk to them, plan with them, use them, because it will be much more success for our students when you do collaborate.
Thank you. Michael, you're up next. What is the hardest lesson you have learned as a teacher?
Always have a change of clothes. You will spill coffee on yourself or food or dry erase marker. And I teach middle school, and so they let you know that you've spilled that on yourself. So I keep a change of clothes in my classroom all the time. But one of the most important lessons, toughest lessons that I learned was to focus and develop my strengths. As a young teacher, I think I spent a lot of time focused on my weaknesses. I knew that I needed to improve my ability to organize, to plan lessons out, to respond to emails in an efficient manner. And I did a lot of work on trying to improve those areas. And that's not a bad thing, but I've had so much more fun over the last 4 or 5 years developing my strengths. I think it took me a while to learn what my strengths were and to realize the gifts that I've been blessed with in the classroom. But developing those strengths and expanding on those, building on those strengths has been so much fun. And it's not that I've forgotten about my weaknesses. It's hard to forget about your weaknesses. It's just not the main focus for my professional development now. I work on developing and exploring my strengths and what I enjoy doing in the classroom. And then I spend some time working on becoming a better organizer, developing better lesson plans, and communicating in a more efficient way.
Wonderful words. Thank you. Can you share your best advice for working and communicating with parents and guardians in Forsyth County? Catherine.
Communicating with parents in Forsyth County. One thing I would say about our parents is that they really do want to be connected with their students' education. They really do want to be involved, which is awesome. But when they get, especially to like the secondary level where they're in middle school and high school and they have 7, 8, 9, I don't know how many teachers, a lot of teachers, I would imagine it's difficult for the parents to still feel like they're connected. And so I've found that it's really beneficial to reach out to parents and just, even if it's just like a 1-sentence email that's like something really positive about their student, even if it's just to say, hey, I think your kid's really awesome. I sent quite a few of those emails last year. That goes a long way with our parents because, again, they really do just want to feel like they're connected to their kids' educational experience.
Great, thank you. Paul, you're next.
Yeah, as far as communicating with parents, I have worked previously in other counties, and Forsyth County parents are awesome. They are very supportive. It shouldn't be like a daunting task, oh, I've got to call a parent about this, because 99% of the time they are so grateful that you reached out, that you care about their kid, and building off what Catherine said, to send positive messages is also another great way to continue to build community and allow parents to know that, every time they see, the call from this school, that it's not bad. It's a good thing to be able to encourage the parents that, your kid has done, X, Y, and Z, whatever it is that they have improved on, especially if early on you had to maybe call for something that wasn't a positive situation. It's great to follow up and say, this is what they're doing now. They've improved. Thank you so much for your support, because the parents in Forsyth County are awesome.
Wonderful advice. Thank you both. Can you share tips on how you manage technology devices with students in your classroom? Susan, you're first.
Well, this looks very different in elementary school versus you middle and high school people. But don't think that the elementary are not sneaky. They are. We have, as you'll be learning in your trainings coming up, we have a class link where we have all sorts of Forsyth County resources, and you play with that. You know, click around, get familiar with it, ask questions. But we have a program on there that's called NetRef, where you can see all the kids in your classroom, what's on their computer screen. And so you think they're all working, doing their math Dreambox, and then you look at your screen and you're like, oh, they haven't even logged on yet, or oh, they've, clicked on a website. And then when you confront them on it, they're like, what? How did you know that? But Forsyth County is always on the cutting edge of giving us great resources. So just make sure you become familiar with those, and that'll help, even with the youngest kids, kind of keep track of them.
I agree with what she said, and a lot of times proximity is really helpful. There's a lot less diverging off the task when someone's standing near you. And so I would say, be around, be involved, be engaged. If you have your students working on a project, be circulating the room, asking questions. They know you're going to be engaged in what they're doing and what they're learning, so they're going to be more likely to be on task. And I know we're going to talk later about building that culture in your classroom, but sometimes I think, it can be nerve-wracking as a teacher when you have technology involved, because we all know that there are things out there that are dangerous and that we don't want our kids involved in, but technology is not going away. So this is part of what they've known since birth at this point, some of them. And so I think we need to be very diligent in kind of getting to the core of it and building a culture in our room where we're respectful and we think about what's happening when we're using technology, and that just is part of your whole classroom culture, and helping them to be positive digital citizens, because they are going to be a part of the digital world. So take the time, be intentional, be explicit in your instructions, talk about what the expectations are. We had a Chromebook contract, and here's the expectation, and here's what should be happening when you're using this. It's as a tool, and just instilling in them. And I even tell them, when you, even if you're at home and you click on something, you have a little feeling, it's not so good, you know you have that feeling. So you need to seek out an adult, and you need to make sure that you're being safe whenever you're using technology.
Wonderful words. Thank you both. What are some activities that you do the first weeks of school to build your classroom community? Bethany.
Okay, the first few weeks, which is what you have coming up, is one of my favorite times, because you're getting to know them. They come in your room and they have so many great and interesting personalities, and they don't really know each other. So it's really important to spend a good amount of time of just building that culture in your classroom. Several things that we focus on during that time: teamwork, giving them things to where they can work together, but really being explicit in teaching them how does this look? What does this look like? And honestly, over the last couple of years, teachers we've really noticed a difference in that, just with what we've come through, that, working as a team and in groups is really something that some of the students are struggling with. So spend the time to do that and to develop that mentality that we're all in this together. I'm a big fan of talking about the growth mindset, and that you're going to face challenges this year, and how are you going to handle that? What are we going to do? We're going to support each other. If you're in the learning pit, if you're not ever in the learning pit, then you're not learning anything new, and that's our whole goal, right? So you're going to have challenges and things that are difficult. How do we handle that? I think that's important in the classroom and in the world. So these are things that you're instilling in them that they're going to need throughout the rest of their life, and help them, like we talk about, how do you apologize? This is what you do. You say, I'm sorry, and you say what you did wrong, and then you ask them to forgive you or to accept your apology. And then that leaves that onto them. And then we talk about, what does the other person say? Do they just say, that's okay, but it's not okay because maybe someone hurt you? So how do you work through that conflict? And to actually teach them, this is how you resolve a conflict in a positive way. And then also modeling that. If you have students that are having some trouble, there's a reason why. And calling them out in front of their peers is not really going to be something that's going to be beneficial. Step aside, talk to them, help them work through their feelings. Those are things that I think are super important for them to feel safe and be able to trust you and trust their classmates.
Wonderful, thank you. Michael, would you like to answer that as well?
So each year, I have students that come into my classroom and they are not overly excited about math. I hear a lot during open house that my child's worst subject is math. They don't like math. Math's not any fun. And so that pumps me up. And so several years ago, I decided to change my first week's activities and make it more of, you know, those hype videos that they put out for like college football and stuff to get you hyped. I was like, I got to get my students hyped. So specifically in the first 2 days, I put on a magic show. I do math magic. And let me tell you, it was very scary when I first decided to do this. So the first thing I wanted to challenge you to do is don't be scared to try new things. Every year, try new activities to build teamwork or to build that culture that you're looking for. And it might take you a few years to figure out what culture you're looking for. I wanted excitement. I wanted fun. And so I came up with math magic. And that can easily turn when the math trick does not go your way. But you figure out ways to work around that. So we start off with math magic, and we start off with fun and excitement. But then it's very important, in order to build the culture and the teamwork that I want in my classroom, for me to communicate the expectations for my students. I used to do this all in one day. That was boring. And so I had to make a change. And so I take one expectation, no more than 2 per day in that next full week, in my first full week of school, and I go over with them how we're going to work in teams, how we're going to encourage one another when we have class discussions. I have a very specific way that we encourage students during discussions. I have expectations of manners in my classroom and how we conduct ourselves. And so we take a day, we hype it up, we go over it, we make it fun to talk about it, and then we jump into the lesson. So that is my advice for the first week. It might take you some time to figure out how you like to do this, but don't be scared to make changes.
Wonderful wisdom. Thank you both. What is your favorite part about being a teacher in Forsyth County? Catherine.
I'll take that one, sure. My favorite part about being a teacher in Forsyth County. Well, I guess from like an employee standpoint, Forsyth's awesome because you get so many opportunities and experiences that are available to you if you're kind of willing to take the chance and kind of work towards it. Like I said, this is only going to be my 5th year, and I've already obtained my gifted endorsement through Forsyth County, and I've had leadership roles both at the school and the county level. So that's just really exciting, and it kind of motivates me to continue to work hard. You always have opportunities available to you. And I would say administration, both at the school level and the county level, are always super supportive, very open to hearing new ideas. So if you are, if you have ideas, if you want to kind of push your career a little bit further and go that extra mile, Forsyth County is a great place to do that because there's just opportunities everywhere you turn.
Paul, you're next.
So the first day when I came to Forsyth Central High School, there's a teacher and coach there named James Mills, and I was walking down the hall, and he said, "Welcome to paradise." And to me, it just was like, man, is it that good? And it is. It is. It's awesome to work here, and when you kind of step back to, well, why? Why is it that Forsyth County Schools is the best school district in the state of Georgia? And it's the servant leadership model from the top to bottom. If you need anything, regardless if it's your Board of Education members, superintendent, administration, department leaders at your school, they're so supportive in what you're trying to do. We're here to help kids, and if you have an idea that's going to help reach kids, then that's what they want to hear. That's what they're open to creative ideas that will help our kids. And when you feel supported like that, when you feel encouraged as a professional, you are willing to try those innovative and creative ideas. And when you feel that support, then you can pass that on to your students and see the servant leadership model and then model that for your students to be servant leaders themselves and for them to feel supported and encourage themselves. And that's the best way for them to learn.
Wonderful. Thank you both. And I agree. We are very supported in Forsyth. We're all very lucky. Each panelist, please give our new educators one final piece of advice. And Susan, I want to start with you and go down the line. That'd be great.
I guess we've heard it over and over, but making the connections is, to me, the most be-all thing. Love, love, love on your kids. Let them know you care. Laugh with them, dance with them, be silly. Ask them about their family. Ask them about their sports. Talk to them. Let them know that you genuinely care about what's going on in their life. Develop those relationships, and then everything else will follow. And same thing with their families. I mean, like at Cumming Elementary, we have families and we have the siblings. And so you develop those relationships with those families. And then as you have the siblings, as they come up, then it's just such a more successful time for everybody, I feel like, because you've already made that connection and they know that you care about their kids, and then they're going to work harder to support you, and the kids are going to work harder to be successful. And again, just don't be afraid to ask for help. Like I said, it takes a village, and so love them up and have fun.
That's what I was going to say, is just have fun. Just smile and joke around and have a great time with those kids that are in your room every day. I think, just like anything in life, there's going to be days that are just amazing, and then there's going to be really hard days. And one thing that I like to do is I have in the bottom of my drawer some little notes and letters from parents and pictures. And on those days when it's been kind of hard, you pull that out and you look at that and you remember, this is why I'm doing this. You're having this impact, and there's nothing better. I mean, being able to impact one student, and then they can think of all the people that they'll impact. Remember why you're doing this. It's really such an honor to be able to have this job where you have students that you can influence and you can help grow and learn. And so just have fun with it and take a risk. I agree. And if you mess up, well, we like to say failure is the first attempt in learning. So give it a shot, and then be transparent with your kids and say, well, that didn't work out so well. And they learn from that. They see, how do you respond when things don't go well? Because that's another important lesson they need. So just smile and have a great year.
Purchase a yearbook. Every year, purchase a yearbook. And then at the end of the year, print off a seating chart for each class period. Because when students come back years later, and you think, oh, I'll never forget this student's name, you're going to forget them. And it's terrible. I hate when a student comes in and they're so excited to visit and see you, and you can't remember their name. So I love having a yearbook, because the first thing I do is I say, oh, let's pull out your yearbook and see your class. And then I can find their name. So that is some great advice. The second thing is, and I still remember this in my interview, Miss Kathy Rohasek, who hired me, my first principal, she said, be flexible. And I have remembered that every year, and it has been challenging every year. You have to be flexible. Things in the classroom can change instantly, and if you're not ready to change with that, it makes it very difficult. So be flexible. Your schedule's going to change. Your lessons are going to change. Your students are going to change. Like Bethany said, some days are going to be good and some days are going to be bad. And the more flexible you can be with that, the better it will be.
I might steal that idea. That's a really good idea. I one time had a former student visit me, and I could not, for the life of me, remember her name. And her name was Catherine. And that's my name, so that was embarrassing. Great. So my advice would be don't be afraid to ask for help, especially like the different personnel at your school. I ask my media center specialist questions all the time. She probably wants to block my email. And like your IT specialist too can be really helpful, and your instructional coach as well. So don't be afraid to ask them for help, because that's why they're there, and they love to help teachers figure out new and creative ways to engage their students. And just like your colleagues too, even if they don't teach your content or your grade level, they still have great ideas on how to interact with students, how to engage them, how to create fun lessons. I learn a lot from my colleagues, so I would say don't be afraid to reach out, to ask for help. Just to get new ideas too can be really helpful.
So my piece of advice would be when you are headed to school, sometimes in the morning things can get a little hectic. I know, I drop kids off at school and, you pull in and you're ready to go and start the day. But before you get out of your vehicle, just pause for a minute. Just take a deep breath, ask for strength, ask for patience, ask for wisdom, and just approach your day with, how can I make a positive impact in my students' lives? And then get out of your car and go about your way. And I feel like that has made a huge difference in my approach to every day. That way I'm not entering the room in a state of kind of hustle, get it done. And I understand, a reminder of why I'm there. And so that would be my piece of advice.
Thank you all. Those are wonderful words of wisdom. As you can see, teaching in Forsyth County has many, many advantages. From colleagues like these in the classroom next door to you, to the experience and wisdom you've heard today. Let's give them a huge round of applause. We will now take a 45-minute break, and it is about a little after 9:15. So around 10, if you'll return, you may go stretch your legs, walk through the vendor fair, and grab an FCS t-shirt. Those are some cool shirts. They are in the rehearsal room where you got your yummy Chick-fil-A breakfast, and be back here around 10. Enjoy your break.
Welcome back from your break. And let me be the first during this session to welcome you, my brothers and sisters, to the FCS family. I look forward to serving with you over the next year. My name is Tom Cleveland. I've been on the school board since 2004, back when the dinosaurs roamed the earth and here in Forsyth. I'm the father of 2 sons who have gone through the system. I'm also the husband to an instructional assistant, so I hear a lot every day. So good luck with your first day and the rest of your career here in Forsyth County. Over the last 18 years of my service here, I've seen some incredible talent come through this county, and today is going to be no different. Help me welcome to this stage the Denmark High School Quartet as they'll do a performance for you.
Hello everyone, my name is Alex. I'm Anarga. I'm Sam. And I'm Charlie. We are the Denmark High School Quartet. And we're going to be singing Stray Cat Strut and Crazy Little Thing Called Love. Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone.
Okay, that was amazing. Awesome, awesome, awesome. That was excellent. Thank you. Okay, let's see. Just amazing talent we have. Michael Cheek, so he said to always bring a change of a shirt. I actually spilled coffee on me over the break, but you can't see it because it's black. But I did get my change of shirt. I am Lindsay Adams. I'm a member of the Board of Education, newest board member. This is my second year of serving on the board, and it's been a joy every moment. This morning, I got in last night at 12:30 after a road trip with my 4 children to Mississippi. Yeah, it was good. And this morning, I was like, oh, I don't want to get up. And then I was like, oh, but I get to go to this. So I get so much joy and just motivation listening to everyone who speaks from Forsyth County Schools, and I'm excited that you're entering into this family, and you're going to be able to ride the joy wave as well. I would like to invite our 2022 District Teacher of the Year, Michael Cheek, back to stage. I swear, it's like constant TED Talks when I come to one of these events. It's great. You have such wonderful things to share. Great motivator. Michael is an 8th grade math teacher at Vickery Creek Middle. He received his bachelor's degree from the University of Georgia and his master's degree from Valdosta State University. Michael's teaching career began in Forsyth County Schools in 2009. Please join me in welcoming him to the podium.
I have a few props. This is my yearbook. Well, thank you. Thank y'all for having me here this morning. This is a pleasure and an exciting time for y'all as you start this new school year. Let me get these where I need them here. I have a set of classroom pigs. It's a long story how that started, but we've got about 42 now in my room, and the kids name them. It's become quite a thing. I was walking down the 7th grade hallway of Liberty Middle School, ready to start my 15 weeks of student teaching. As I entered the school, my excitement was almost overwhelming. Shimpal. I was looking for a sign that read Shimpal. As I walk down the hallway, I hear, "Are you Cheek?" High five. You are going to love our kids. And then Miss Shimpal hip checked me to the side. It was amazing. This is going to be an awesome year, and I'm so glad to have you join our Patriot family. That's how Miss Shimpal welcomed me to Liberty Middle School. I want to welcome you to our Forsyth County family like Miss Shimpal welcomed me into her family, with energy and enthusiasm. I am sure this will not be awkward at all. But I am a middle school teacher, and being awkward is just normal for us. In my math class, when someone's mathleticism, I did say mathleticism, makes us go OMG, we give them 2 big ones. A student will cheer their classmates on by saying, "Way to go, Keisha," or "Way to go, Connor." I am going to ask you a question, and I'm hoping you respond with 2 big ones. Are you Forsyth County teachers? That wasn't bad. Let's try that one more time. Are you Forsyth County teachers? That was really good. Are you part of the Forsyth County family? Are you excited to start teaching? I'm excited too, and welcome to the Forsyth County family. One of the blessings of being nominated as a Teacher of the Year candidate is the opportunity to meet so many incredible teachers that are in our Forsyth County schools. This year's finalists are examples of the great teachers that make up the Forsyth County family.
I want to encourage you to take a look at some of our past Teacher of the Year winners and their words of inspiration. Jonas Strecker, he was our 2018 Teacher of the Year winner. And during his acceptance speech, he shared that teaching is not just a vocation, it is a lifestyle. Kim Schreier was the 2019 Teacher of the Year winner. And during her speech, she reminds us that each of us has a why. The 2020 Teacher of the Year winner was Jessica Younghouse. She is an academic fixer-upper. Most people see the work, but we must see the potential. Kim Sarfati, she was our 2021 winner, and she challenges us to find our treasure. These teachers, along with so many more in our Forsyth family, are ready to share their journey with you. Today, I will share with you what is most important for me in teaching, and the one thing that drives my passion more than anything. I have learned during my 13 years of teaching that I place a lot of value on connections. If I can connect to the words in a speech, I can speak passionately. If I can connect with the content in my lesson, I can deliver that lesson with excitement. If I can connect with my colleagues, I can collaborate with joy. If I can connect with my school, I can support their mission. And if I can connect with my students, then I can impact their learning. Every year, my students learn about the teacher that most connected with me, Miss Smothers. She has been teaching for 45 years and still has a love for connecting with students. Most of my students struggle with math. So one of the first ways I attempt to connect with them is sharing with them my own struggles with math. I still have some of my tests from Miss Smothers' class. This is a 73. That was with 10 points. I explained to them some of my grades were due to effort and some were due to the class just being tough. I tell them I failed the math test to become a teacher the first time I took it. I share with them my journal entry from my senior year of high school, where I wrote, "I do not like math, and I would never become a math teacher." Now, how did my high school math teacher, whose class was most likely my toughest, be the teacher that most connected with me and has shaped my classroom more than any other teacher? Because she came to every basketball game I ever played on varsity. I mean, look at she is off the ground in that picture. She is 80. When she learned I had my first date, which I'm still trying to figure out how she knew I had a date, but she told me it was important to speak to the parents when I picked her up, to open the door for her, and she made sure I was prepared to calculate the tip that evening. She taught me ballroom dancing. She taught me to cover my mouth when I yawn, to speak correctly, and to have integrity. She was willing to connect with me in the classroom and outside the classroom. The Forsyth County Learner Profile lists the attributes we expect all learners to possess by the time they graduate from a Forsyth County high school. One of the keys in learning to connect is how to interact effectively. Connecting with students is not always easy, and the ground must often be cultivated and positive relationships must be maintained. This is Heidi. This was the toughest connection I've ever had to earn with a student, and yet worth more than silver or gold. Heidi was not happy to be at Vickery for her 8th grade year. She had been redistricted, and her family was not able to provide transportation to the school she had attended for 6th and 7th grade. During the first 3 weeks, I tried to be intentional with Heidi and my other students who were new to our school. Heidi wanted nothing to do with my attempts to connect with her. There were times when I passed by her desk and thought she might trip me. She would literally stare me down, and if I stopped to offer help, she would sit silent and offer no facial expression. My next decision would not prove beneficial in the short term. I went to the counselor and explained the situation. She decided to call Heidi into her office that day and see if she could help. Well, the next thing I know, Heidi walks into my room, slams her hands down on my desk, and says, "Why did you snitch on me?" I panicked and did what most middle schoolers do when they get cornered. I lied. She quickly called me out on the lie, and so I had to be honest with her. I was just trying to connect. She said, "I don't want to connect. I don't like your class, and I don't like this school." I reminded myself to maintain a positive relationship with Heidi and to keep cultivating a relationship with her. We got through the first unit despite the tension and awkwardness between us. And she did okay, but not great. During the second unit, I began to see a change in her attitude toward me, and she made an A on the test. I was crazy excited and knew she would be my Pythagoras Award winner. This is Pythagoras, named after the Pythagorean theorem. At the end of each unit, I announce a winner and make a big deal with a presentation and a mini Pythagoras. Students then get their picture taken, and the class gives them 2 big ones. Heidi looked at me and said, "I am not taking a picture, and no clapping." At the bell, she walked into the hallway, told her friend she won the award, and then chunked the pig down the hallway and walked the other way. I was disappointed. I was hurt. It is difficult not to take events like that personally. And if I'm honest, I think I gave up trying to connect with Heidi. Cultivating and maintaining a positive relationship with her was going to require persistence. I was also questioning, why was this happening during the Teacher of the Year process? I honestly thought, I am a finalist for Teacher of the Year, and I can't even connect with this student. I want to read you a letter Heidi handed me on the next to last day of school. "You and I had a harder time in the beginning of the year, not going to lie. I thought I was going to hate your class because I hated the school. But that did not mean you had to go and snitch on me to the counselor. The day they called me, I was mad, but I thought it was funny. You started to show me that this school was not that bad, but being in your class made my school year better. I would tell my friend how weird you were. I acted mean to you and sarcastic, but that's how I showed you how much I love your class. You were one of the teachers that saw the true Heidi. I really enjoyed your class. I remembered the time it was my birthday and you sang to me. I actually sing to them with the pig. I don't sound as good as the Denmark Quartet. I also remember that it was the second or third week of school when I told you, you can move. I don't know what it would be like without you, to be honest. I will miss you so much, and thank you for saying hi to me in the hallways. There were many times I needed that hi, and that hi meant a lot to me, more than you think. Every moment in your class was a dream. I was so happy I was in your class, and there is not a day I regret connecting with you. All of our memories I will cherish in my heart, and if you ever have a student like me again, go snitch on them. After I read the letter, she made me read it in front of her. That was tough. After I read the letter, she pulled out the yellow pig I had awarded her. She said, "This is also the outfit I wore that day. Let's take this picture and do it quickly before I change my mind." So that's the next to last day of school. Yeah. I recently asked Miss Smothers why it is important to connect with students, and she told me the following. She said, Michael, I was hired to teach math. I've been teaching math for 45 years, and it's the most important thing I do. I spend 80% of my time preparing for and teaching math. However, the other 20% of my time is the most valuable. That time is spent connecting with students in the classroom and outside of the classroom. That is why my students allow me to teach them. The most valuable step you can take this year is learning how to connect with students. Learning to connect is a process, and it is not always neat and clean. Connect with your students through cultivation and maintaining a positive relationship. Connect with as many students as possible, whether that connection comes easily or not. Because Ms. Smothers connected with me, I'm now connecting with students like Heidi. If you want to teach your students how to interact effectively, then show them what it looks like to cultivate and maintain a positive relationship with them and connect. Thank you.
Thank you, Michael, for your inspiring words, and I'm not sure how I'm going to follow that. But hi, everyone. My name is Jessica Younghouse. I'm the 2020 Forsyth County Teacher of the Year. And in Forsyth County Schools, we are blessed to have many supportive partners in education, including our Forsyth County Education Foundation. What does the foundation do? Simply stated, you may have heard of their annual duck dive for education, where one lucky duck wins $10,000. Yes, I know what you're thinking. Teachers are eligible to win this prize. You will learn more about it in the spring, and all of the money raised by the foundation goes back to our schools as grants. At this time, I'd like to invite Evan Profeta, the chairperson of the Forsyth County Education Foundation, to the stage.
Good morning again. Thank you, Jessica. The Forsyth County Education Foundation was created in 2015 to foster innovation for increased student achievement by unifying resources not ordinarily provided by the district's operating budget. Over the past 7 years, the foundation has awarded over $355,000 in grants to schools and teachers just like you. Later this August, on Foundation Friday, we will surprise schools with our 2022 grants. We are continually working with the community to raise funds to give out more grants to more teachers. And as Jessica just mentioned, our biggest effort towards this end is the duck dive for education. So I have an assistant here with me from South Forsyth High School because I want to condition all of you early to look out for our logo, because we do get a lot of questions, or it certainly have in the early years, about what the duck dive is all about. And all of our board members have just spent all summer long reading applications and grants, putting a tremendous amount of time and effort into reading some fantastic ideas. So I want to make sure that when early 2023 comes along, you're going to see these signs similar to this, but it'll have another duck on there, inviting everybody to adopt a duck for $10 to help us reach our goals. And we have some very, very big goals, all centered around helping you guys reach yours. And so please look out for that. When you see that, you know that it's time to tell your neighbors and your friends to join us in our efforts and help us by adopting a duck for our efforts. Thank you, Pierce. As you've already heard today, the learner profile is the end in mind of Forsyth County Schools. Every grant the foundation gives must align to the learner profile. We would now like for you to hear about the life of a student in Forsyth County Schools and how our students live out the learner profile every day. I'd like to ask our 5 students and my fellow Foundation board members to come on stage, and at this time, you'll hear from each student about one attribute of the learner profile. All right, first up, regarding pursuing continuous learning, we have Isabella Rapaccioli and Michael Barron.
Hello, everyone. Good morning. So, as they said, my name is Isabella Rapaccioli. I'm a rising 9th grader, and I'm just going to talk about pursuing continuous learning. So, pursuing continuous learning. It can be a bit of a tricky thing to grasp. Going after knowledge, expanding your horizons, can be scary. And what is pursuing continuous learning? To many, it is simply ambition, dedicating yourself to your job, working hard with school, and they wouldn't be wrong. All of those things are a part of continuous learning, but they are only fractions of the whole. In truth, you can pursue continuous learning in every single aspect of your life. Sure, school, work, but also hobbies, relationships, spirituality, the list goes on, you name it. As long as you hit a plateau, all you need to do is find a way to build upward. So, after years of plateauing myself, this was a few years back, I decided to finally stop scrolling on TikTok or Instagram or whatever, and actually put effort into bettering myself and trying to reach my full potential. So, I worked as hard as I could, and I made myself an honor roll student, went from 2 advanced classes to all honors and AP next year, volunteered with local charities, but academics aside, I also decided to go outside, talk to people, and actually try to connect with others. That social aspect is probably one of the most impactful aspects that I sort of delved into. I discovered that I was surrounded with so many incredibly bright young people. All of these future doctors, artists, engineers, writers, they all taught me something I never would have learned if I hadn't pushed myself to go outside my boundaries. I cannot thank our system and faculty enough for giving me and so many other students such amazing opportunities to really live up to our full potential. I've attended 7 schools in 2 states, and few districts provide such support as Forsyth and preparation for success in career and life. Essentially, all of us have hit our plateaus, but we've all pressed on. I know now what I want to do. I know now what I want to be. And I'm more than ready to face the rocky hills that will be blocking my path. Welcome to Forsyth County Schools. We're counting on you to keep building. Thank you.
All right, next up, to discuss exhibiting strong personal qualities, Sarah Costello and our own Fonda Harrison.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Sarah Costello. I am a 19-year-old senior at Forsyth Central.
You're doing great. Keep going, honey. You good? Okay. You want me to help you? Okay, let's go. Let's do it together. Okay. A few months ago, I stood on this
stage
for the Penguin production.
Penguin production for Annie Jr.
For Annie Jr. And I played the part of
Miss Hannigan.
Ready?
Our mentors performed with us, helped us achieve your goals, improving dancing, singing, and acting abilities of any junior was not first show I was in. In middle school, I was tech dear for Lion King, Beauty and the Beast. I helped with costume, props, on sets, on stage. James and Giant Peach. I was on the show with performing on stage. Learn how to memorize lines. I was very difficult for me, and my vocally singing. I'm in my room, put on YouTube, singing all my favorite songs. Last fall, I sang "My Heart Will Go On" from Titanic.
For my school.
For my school coffee house, it was the first night for any students should like to show off their talents. Every night after school, I would go home and practice my songs to make it perfect. Use that energy practice role as Miss Hannigan. Forsyth County has many programs that help me teach me
integrity,
and the responsibility of my actions. I'd like to be a counselor in training camp by can.
Yep.
In the summer, I had to learn how to not to be bossy. How to follow in the direction. This is for you, Dawn.
Perseverance.
Perseverance means a lot to me. Go to from having open heart surgery
to competing
in Bush Olympics events like bowling, golf, horseback riding. It takes a lot of hard work, but just not from myself. My family, my friends, and coaches and teachers
have helped me
help me
get where
I am today. I like to help my friends if they need help too. Having Down syndrome means had to work harder, but I know how to work smarter. Google and YouTube. They help me understand things. I figure out them on my own. Spending time with my friends, go out to dinner, having sleepovers, and playing Just Dance helps me meditate and good balance between sports, school, and life. These qualities have helped me shape to be personal today, and thank you.
All right, next up to discuss utilize creative and critical thinking, Sarah Lauterbach with her mother, Silver City Elementary teacher Laura Lauterbach, and Doug Dershemer.
Hi, everybody. This is my daughter, Sarah.
Hi, I'm Sarah Lauterbach, and I go to Silver City Elementary School, and I'm in 5th grade.
So what activities do you participate in at school?
I'm on the Comet News show, and I'm also on the robotics team.
So in these activities, are there ever any problems that happen?
Yes, in the Comet News, sometimes the computers won't work or the mics are on mute when the anchors are talking, and even sometimes the robot breaks a lot. One time my team's robot broke the day before a competition. It completely fell apart.
Well, those are some problems. How did you fix those?
Sometimes when the computers don't work, we can either turn them back on and turn them off and then turn them back on. And if that doesn't work, we unplug it and then plug it back in. When the mics are on mute, we either have the anchors go back and say what we could not hear, or we just skip that part. And in robotics, when the robot breaks, we either modify it to work for what we are doing at that moment, or we fix it and continue on. One time when my team's robot broke, Ike, when he broke the day before a competition, we had to scramble to rebuild it as quickly as we could. It took us 3 hours to put him back together. Fortunately, we were able to get him back together and we were able to compete.
That's awesome. So what have these activities taught you about creative and critical thinking?
On the Comet News and on robotics, I've learned to work with technology and fix problems in areas that occur. I've also learned that sometimes things may not go as planned and that it's always good to have a backup plan. I've learned to think about the problem and test solutions. Sometimes it takes multiple tries to find a solution. By working with the other members of these teams, it makes it easier because we can help each other and uses everyone's ideas to help solve problems. Thank you.
Next up, with Engage and Contribute, Nicole Morgan and Lori Cole.
Hi, my name is Nimel Morgan, and I am an 8th grader who attends South Forsyth Middle School. Today, I will be talking about how to engage and contribute across cultures. I recently went to India, which is where my parents are from. The language that we speak there is Tamil. I know a little bit of Tamil, but I'm not fluent in it. One day, my grandfather brought me to a badminton class in India. At first, the kids there were extremely surprised about me being from America. At first, I was a bit uncertain why they were so curious, but it turns out that going to America is a big deal there. I was a bit hesitant to speak to them because of the language barrier, but most of the kids there knew at least a little bit of English, so I quickly made many new friends. I loved the experience of playing badminton with my new friends, and this is an example of how you can engage with different cultures and have it be enjoyable despite the language barrier. During this summer, I went to attend the Scripps National Spelling Bee, where I met many other spellers that I have interacted with online. I loved being able to speak and spend time with them. In the spelling bee community, everyone gets treated with respect no matter what your opinion is. Everyone interacts well and helps each other out. I have traveled to many countries, such as the Netherlands, Britain, France, India, Costa Rica, and Mexico. I love traveling because it broadens your mind and you get to see so much more than what you are used to. Learning about different cultures helps you to be more wise when traveling and to have a better understanding of the world we live in. Next year, I'll be visiting India again and possibly other countries. I can't wait to make more connections with the people, language, and cultures of other different countries. Learning about different cultures helps you to be more wise when traveling and to have a better understanding. If you would like to have an enjoyable experience, learn about cultures, interact with different people, and overall become more world-wise, then traveling is for you. Thank you for listening.
Next, with Interact Effectively, Jarrell Florence Jr. with his father, Denmark Assistant Principal Jarrell Florence.
So Jarrell would like to have a conversation with you all to talk to you about how Interact Effectively has helped him throughout this school year. He is a 5th grader at Midway Elementary. So Jarrell, what is your favorite activity to do at school?
My favorite activity to do at school is math and recess.
I'll be honest with you, I think recess came before math, but to help out the situation, okay. Jarrell, do you like to work with your classmates at school?
Yes, because working with my classmates helps me when I am having trouble with something I do not know.
What do you all work on together?
We work on math and social studies projects together and write essays together.
So Jarrell, how has working with your classmates helped you in this past school year?
Working with my classmates has helped me improve my academics and feel more confident as a student.
We all like to tell you all thank you for the work that you're about to put in, and welcome to Forsyth County.
Well, thank you all for sharing with us about learning in Forsyth County schools. I'll now turn it over to Dr. Bearden, who will close out with the district overview. Thank you.
Weren't the kids great? Give them another round of applause. It's awesome. And I don't know if you guys know this, but on a part-time job of mine is I teach the Denmark High School Quartet. And so I was so incredibly proud of their performance today. We've worked hard on that all year, so thank you to them. I'd like to thank everyone involved in today's program for giving our new educators a great overview of Forsyth County schools. In our school system, we truly do make it happen every day, and we're thrilled to have you and look forward to seeing the greatness that comes from this amazing group of educators in this room. I don't know if you know this or not, but August 4th is the first day of school. I am beginning my 33rd year in education. I don't look like it, I know. But on the night of August 3rd, I will probably sleep very little. And to be honest with you, and no offense, I hope you don't either. Why? Because a restless night will simply mean that you care, that you're excited. Bring that enthusiasm with you on day one, and bring it with you every day for this entire school year. Your students deserve for you to be at your best every single day. And one final piece of advice before we leave this morning. If you desire to be at your professional best, and I know you do, you must take great care of you. Mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually, whatever that means to you, take great care of yourself because you matter. Thank you for choosing our profession. Thank you for choosing Forsyth County Schools. Have a great rest of your day. Have an awesome school year. And now we're going to have a 3-minute dance break as we transition to the teaching and learning portion of the agenda. Yes, I said dance. So when the music comes on, make sure you get up. You guys have a great year. Thank you.